Hey everyone, welcome back to Rig Tag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about inflation and how stacking silver can help to hedge against that. I wanted to make this video because I keep seeing a bunch of videos talking about this topic, and some of them have conflicting views. I keep seeing that anybody that is involved in the government or works for the government is saying, this is just a transitionary thing, and that the inflation thing might be a short-term problem, but in the long term, they don't see that it's going to be, something to worry about. In the same article, I believe that was from Yellen, that was saying that it was transitionary. In that same article, it was Warren Buffett, and they were saying, world famous investor Warren Buffett, and his quotes were, "Oh yeah, inflation is already here. It's already affecting areas." And one of the things he said specifically was the housing market. It is definitely affecting. But yeah, we've heard it before, and I've said it before on this channel that stacking silver is a good way to hedge against inflation. And that's because this stuff here isn't like fiat currency. It's not like money, where we've seen in the past couple of months where it's all they need is a couple of signatures, and it's basically just the snap of a finger, and they can print up as much money as they want. But it's different with precious metals like silver and gold. This is a finite material, you know what I mean? This isn't something where you can just mint up more silver or mint up as much silver as you want. Because for one, it's not all going to making this stuff. I've said it before. The main thing that silver is used for is industrial usage. So, the little amount that is given to the bullion sector is allocated where it is, and there's really no way they can say, hey, we need more, give us from the industrial side, So it's definitely a finite material that can't be inflated. So that's why a lot of people look to put their money, their fiat currency, into here to maintain their wealth and their purchasing power. And like I said, with a bunch of these articles, I keep seeing that they're saying the inflation is already, rearing its head in a lot of places. Like I mentioned before, the housing market has been affected by it, but you're already starting to see it in the grocery store as well. That was another thing that I kept seeing, was the price of groceries have been going up as well due to inflation. So what I want to do now is jump onto the computer and show you this article here. It's talking about a couple of the different phases, and this article is suggesting that we are now moving into the final phase, and they're going to go over exactly what that means. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is jump on there and show you the article. Okay, so this is the article here. It's from Gains Pains Capital. Okay, right here it says title is Inflation Watch. We are entering the final and most critical phase. And it says it's official. Inflation is now deeply embedded in the financial system. And it says inflation arrives in stages, and they're going to go down here, and it says the three phases. The first phase is raw materials. Then phase 2 is factory gate prices, and then the third phase, which judging by the title there, that we are entering or that we are in, is the retail prices. And we're going to say the first stage occurs in the manufacturing production segment. We first hit that stage several months ago, as the below chart illustrates. The price of raw materials such as copper, lumber, and gasoline are all up triple digits in the last 12 months. I've seen that with lumber especially. Here's the chart that they're talking about. I'll try and get that a little bit bigger so that you can see it there. There we go. So that's May to April. So it's the year, and it's showing what lumber is just going through the roof there. You can see that gasoline and copper have risen, obviously not as much as lumber, but they have risen as well. And the second phase, like they said, there was the factory prices. And it says, in today's economy, the company that makes something is rarely the one that sells it to the public. Instead, producers, manufacturers sell their goods to retailers and distributors, who then sell their goods to the public. It says the prices that producers and manufacturers charge retailers, distributors are called factory gates. And it says that the factory gate prices just hit a 41-year high. So yeah, it's definitely on the rise. And then it goes down here. To put it another way, the last time producers were forced to charge this much was the 1980s. And that was during one of the worst inflationary storms in history, when the Fed was forced to raise rates to over 15%. So it's saying retailers and distributors can only stomach this for so long, and if it goes up more and raises it more, basically everyone's going to go broke. And the where does it say? The Financial Times say that we're officially here. It says Nestle, Procter & Gamble, and Unilever are among the global groups to have set out plans for price raises in their latest market updates following commodity price jumps and a spike in transport and packaging costs. And it's not just those companies here. Going down here, it says Coca-Cola CEO says companies will raise prices to offset higher commodity costs. Kimberly-Clark, where the Scott toilet paper, that's going to be going up. And it says Costco is masking a 14% price jump with shrinkflation. That last term is key. Companies don't always simply raise prices. Sometimes they engage in shrinkflation of the policy of selling less of a product for the same price. You've probably noticed when you've opened a food container, then between 30% and 50% of the container is empty. That's shrinkflation. Less of a good for the same price means higher price per unit. So that's basically it. There's another article here that they mentioned from was it Phoenix Capital Market, and you can read that as well if you'd like. But I will leave a link to the this article in the description if you want to reread it. And it's really no surprise that inflation is already having this effect on certain things, and we're going to see it continue to spread into other areas. And you're just going to slowly see the increase. Like it said here, it doesn't appear overnight, but you're going to slowly see the cost of things just edge and creep up and up and up. But unfortunately, I can't sit here and say, well, what I would do to solve this problem is blank, because I don't know how I would do that. You know what I mean? It's not something that I have the answers to. It's not something that I believe many people have the answers to. The only thing that they could do is speculate or have an idea and say, this. If we did this, let's see what happens. Because I really don't know of anyone that has said or have come up with a plan to alleviate this problem. You know what I mean? The only thing that seems to be happening is increasing the inflation. That's the only thing that I ever see happen in terms of inflation talk, is that more funds being added, more stimulus, more money just being created out of nowhere. But like I said, that was the article. I thought you'd be interested in it, and I'm just going to quickly jump off the computer and do a quick little outro. So that was the article. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, or was talking about in my last video, I'm using a new lighting thing with a ring light connected to my phone. And I do like the framing, and it looks nice presented like this. But I just have to hold it on a little bit of a different angle when I go to show it like this. I can show it off to the side so it doesn't have the light at all. But if I go any more like this, it's basically you can't see anything. It's just reflecting the ring light. So if I angle it a little bit like this, you can see it. And I do like the way that the coins look with the ring light there, and it's really showing off the milk spots on those Britannias. It is one of my favorite coins, but unfortunately it does have a bad reputation for milk spotting. Specifically these 2021s. The 2020 Britannias that I have don't milk spot at all. But anyways, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If there's any way out of this whole inflation problem, if you can see if there's any plan or idea that can get us out of this, and whether they would actually go for it. This just seems like what they want to do. It doesn't seem like any amount of common sense or any amount of people saying, this might not be the best idea, this doesn't work. They're not listening. They're just printing as much money as they want, and I guess they're going to deal with it later, or instead of dealing with it later, they're just going to print more money. So it seems to be a pretty vicious cycle that I don't fully understand, but it seems to be the way things are going. But like I said, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.